What is a clear sign that someone liked you, but you didn't realize until later? She yelled, "Date me," after I walked away from her one time. I thought she was joking. My mom always told me to marry this one girl from high school. I told her about it and she was like, "Oh, wow, that's totally crazy, right? Would that ever happen?" And I was like, "No, we are too good of friends." Girl was like, "So not even a chance." Didn't realize she was crushed until college. We were watching TV at her house, just us on the couch, and some character in the show said something I can't even remember now, and she said to me, "If we ever have sex, that's how I'm going to describe it." I think I just chuckled and said, "Oh really?" And that was pretty much it. We hung out a few more times and didn't do anything, and eventually she ghosted me and moved to another town. I'm a fucking idiot. Man, lately I'm just so horny all the time. I wish I were joking. I got a good one. I was in college and I was attracted to this girl with a huge behind. We all went out with a group of friends. She said out loud, "He don't know how to handle all of this," with a smile and look right at me. Then my dumbass said I sure don't and turned and talked to the other guys. Damn, I blew that one night. There are 4 reasons why someone would be staring at your face for a prolonged period of time. 1. You look like someone they know, and they're trying to figure it who. 2. You have an interesting feature on your face or are shockingly ugly. 3. You are directly in front of them, and they're zoned out. 5. You are attractive to them. True story. One time this girl came over to my house. She sat on my bed and said, "You're alone in your bedroom with a girl on your bed." And I was like, "Yep, that's weird, I goose, totally clueless." Girl lived across the hall in my college dorm. She came over in just her new push-up bra to see what I thought of it. This was way back in high school, a good 20 years ago. She asked me and my buddy to walk her to her car, and while we were walking, she sidled up to me and grabbed my hand. We walked hand in hand all the way to her car. She said she's gotta go home or something. And so naturally I said something like, "Okay, drive safe," and then amble away like a fucking carrot. My buddy is looking at me dumbfounded. Slack-jawed. He chewed me out good. Said something like, "What is wrong with you?" I assured him that friends often hold hands, and it probably didn't mean anything. If she reads this, sorry for being such a dunce. A different girl, a couple years older than me, asked me to the prom. And I basically said, "Nah, I don't think I'll ever go to the prom." I was certain she wanted to go as friends. That one I did realize and apologize for, because a friend of hers confronted me later saying it was humiliating. I was, and remain, completely oblivious to human interaction sometimes. Posted this as an answer to another question. I'll copy it here so you can share the misery. Dude here, roommate had introduced me to a woman who said she wanted to get to know me. On several occasions we're in the backyard, watching a movie and having a bonfire. She's got her legs across my lap, her one arm across my chest, and the other behind me, her head on my shoulder looking at me with the most obvious, "kiss me," eyes anyone could have. My dumb ass decides to ask, "What? Why are you looking at me like that?" and goes back to watching the movie. Now engaged, with a kid. Her of course, not me, to a guy who knew the signs. When she said, "Yay, my boobs are big, you can grab them," I wouldn't care. I laughed. WTF. I was at a high school dance. I really wanted to dance with my crush and was preparing to ask her. Then a girl from her group of friends came to me and asked me for a dance. I danced with her and then she casually asked me who I had a crush on. We were friends so it wasn't weird. I procked to tell her. When we finished dancing I asked my crush. She said no in front of all her and my friends. I cried in the bathroom. When I composed myself I went and enjoyed the night further. I had noticed the girl I danced with first was crying but I didn't think much of it because I was with my guy friends at the time. Thinking back I realized I crushed her heart. After work, she needed a ride home. I let her drive my car because she wanted to drive a stick. She drove me to some secluded spot that only could have been described as makeout point. I had to be somewhere, so I drove her home. Yes. This is all real. My boss's face became red and had the biggest smile ever when I talked about inviting her to the dinner I was going to have for my birthday. She also became extremely sad when I said that I liked another woman. It wasn't until I stopped liking the other woman that I realized that my boss liked me. Worst part is that the other woman didn't care for me in that sense at all. She is still a good friend though. Edit. So, I'll add everything that has transpired since posting this comment. Someone asked if I asked her out after I realized I did, and she said yes. But it was at the beginning of the quarantine and we agreed that we would go out when things got back to normal, and sometime after that we stopped talking. Just life things. Nothing good or bad, just life. I asked if I should text her to ask her out again and people told me to go for it, so I promised I'd do it today. I texted her over 2 hours ago and I asked her out again. She said yes. Boot said she didn't know when it's gonna happen because she is afraid of COVID and how people outside are not careful. I not only respect that opinion, but I also share it because of one particular experience I had to go through. One last thing is that some people seemed concerned about how dating a boss is dangerous. She isn't my boss anymore. I suppose I should have started there. She and I worked at a stadium during NBA games, and as soon as the season was cancelled, we both obviously lost our jobs. She asked to bake brownies with me. She sent me bikini pics and a side boob pic showing her new tattoo. She asked to make chocolate-covered fruit with me. Called me to go out to eat with her on campus multiple times. I thought she was just being a nice friend. Update. We are actually engaged now. Smiley face. Cute friend. Do you have a girlfriend? Me, nah. Cute friend. Are you dating someone? Me, nope. Not really. Cute friend. Wow. If you asked me out, I would date you. Me, ha. Thanks. Okay, bye. Fast forward to a few years later. Me. Hole up. Making a beeline to sit on my lap on multiple nights out, repeatedly asking for my help with buying stuff on eBay, inviting me specifically to a party at the end of our first year at uni. Those are just the ones I remember in hindsight. Teenage me was about as attentive as a concrete bollard. All the more annoying since she was just the right sort of quirky and weird, and I'd have been all about her in a heartbeat if I'd realized. She asked me to prom. Still didn't pick up on it. 7th grade me, sitting on school computer playing RuneScape because of course I was. Girl I had a crush on sits on my lap, proceeds to say I need a girlfriend because of course I did, a Christian one, while twiddling the cross around her neck. Sorry babe, Elvarg isn't going to slay himself. Now I'm an alcoholic. She would always find an excuse to sit close to me. There was a lot of touching from her. Just general flirtatious behavior. Had another girl even comment on how cute we were. The icing on the cake was her kissing my forehead, and saying, I would not want to kiss you in the wrong place. I was way too young when I started college and was way too clueless around girls due to having a pretty shitty high school experience. She used to crash in my bed because her dorm was too far away. I really liked her and didn't want to scare her off by taking advantage of her. Thank God she liked him. Dumb. There was a girl in college who I had a crush on. One night, she described the type of guy who she's attracted to. She basically just described me, but since my self-esteem was so low at the time, I was like, damn, I wish I was like that. A few days later, my friends were discussing it and they were laughing at me for not making a move. It was actually a huge wake-up call for me to get my mental health together. In high school, she was gorgeous. She ended up wearing my leather jacket and said I was mysterious and hot. I just thought she was being nice. Sigh. I was way too shy to do anything about it. He borrowed one of my notebooks, and when he returned it, it was full of silly drawings. Apparently I didn't pay much attention to them, and responded by drawing a picture of him getting a drumstick shoved up his butt. Maybe a full decade later I noticed that one of his drawings was stick person him kissing stick person me. Turns out we'd both had crushes on each other. We would have made, like, the best couple, but our self-esteem was too low to think the other person liked us back. I wish I could provide a cute ending, but nah. We married other people and didn't find out until a few years afterwards. Not that it's a bad thing at all, but I am sad for my high school self. TLDR. He drew a picture of him kissing me in my notebook. My dumb ass responded with a drawing of him getting a drumstick shoved up his butt. ****.